Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about histograms. What's a histogram? A histogram, you can see it at the back, display on the back of most cameras. Most cameras will have different display settings for the little preview screen on the back, and this is a DSLR thing. Um, and basically what a histogram is, it's a bar chart or that shows you, has one bar for each level of 256 levels of tone in your image. Sometimes they have three, one for the red, green, and blue, each of which has 256 levels. Um, and basically, it can give you some information while you're shooting. If you're using Lightroom Mobile, you will not see this in the camera mode, but when you go to editing mode, you will see the histogram for that image. So it's kind of a good thing to check. Why? If you have a normal scene, you'll notice that this is the histogram. Now, if you look at the shape of it, it's really not super important actually, except when you're looking at the far left and the far right side of the histogram. So this is a histogram of a normal scene that has a pretty normal tonal range. The fact that the pixels go all the way to the left and all the way to the right means that you're not missing any information. Histogram of an overexposed image. So if you see this on the back of your camera, you'll know that you're missing highlight details. If you look at the histogram, you'll notice that it's all piled up on the right, and that means that pile up means that actually what's happening is that things that should be lighter gray or lighter tones have become pure white. And so like the doors in that previous image, overexposed image, there is information missing there. Even if you make it a little darker in Photoshop, you'll find that you are missing information. Underexposed image, you can see a pile up of images on the left. Again, that means that things that should have had gray tones are actually now black. And that means it needs more light. It's underexposed, there is detail missing. This is actually a low contrast scene. Now, the difference between that and the first one is that you can see there's actually no pixels in the highlight, like near the black or white areas. The pixels are all in the middle. What this means is that the tonal range is a lot less than your camera could handle. And so you're not missing any information. It just means that there is no pure white and there's no pure black in there. You could actually fix that in Photoshop, increase the contrast a little, make the whites whiter and the blacks blacker, but this means really there's no information missing here. This is a nightmare scenario. It's overexposed and underexposed. So because the dark shadows are too dark and the light area, sunlit areas of the wood are too light, the histogram has a pile up on both the left and the right. And basically, when you run into something like this, you can't get both unless you cheat and use the high dynamic range thing in Photoshop. So what you need to do when you're shooting is pick what's most important. In this case, the shadows are so dark, I'd probably say, okay, we need to make the highlights a little darker so we're not missing any detail there.